Enlightenment quotes, quote, then person. Man will never be free until the last king is strangled with the last entrails of the last priest. Denis Diderot, Attack on Divine Right of Kings and on Formalized Religion. The people had grown too accustomed to their chains. Joseph II of Austria. Here lies a man who, with the best of intentions, never succeeded in anything. Joseph II's epitaph. As the sovereign is properly the head of to have as much pity for the lowest wretch as for the greatest courtier. Peter the Great. Enlightened ideas before the Enlightenment. Peter created the new Russia, and Catherine gave them their souls. Voltaire. Écrase l'infâme, wipe out the wicked thing. Voltaire. They will come in the same crowd to see me executed. Voltaire's mistrust of the people. They cannot be trusted to do rational things, therefore he was anti-democracy. Better to have 1 lion than 100 rats. Voltaire. Canada is a few acres of snow, not worth a dead soldier's bones. Voltaire. Light now comes from the north. Voltaire. Expression of hope. She has potential for greatness. Catherine the Great. Peter the Great, Catherine the Greater. Voltaire acknowledges both of their impacts in Voltaire's fondness of Catherine. You write on paper, but I write on skin, which is incomparably more irritable and a ticklish thing. Catherine the Great. Idea might be good on paper, but is harder in practice. Diderot doesn't deal with humans, theory versus practice. Man is born free, yet everywhere he is in chains. Diderot. Rousseau. Chains destroy freedom. Taxes are unfair, inequitable laws in pursuit of war. They shall be forced to be free. Rousseau. Roots of Enlightenment. Rationalism. Intellect is basis of knowledge. Natural law. Object acts in ways that are predictable. God created the universe. God was the clockmaker but did not act directly in human affairs. Identification of natural law. Ability is the ability to live in harmony. Secularism. Belief religion should have no part in political institutions. No connection between religion and government. Removal of all elements of religion from society. A sense of optimism was adopted by those who sought to find solutions to or change the political and social problems, manifested by perfectibility. Progress is achieved by applying human reason to man's problems, moving into a forward-looking period from a dismal period, and the root of liberal thought. Peter the Great had ideas before the Enlightenment. Westernization of Europe. The Grand Embassy, attempt to create alliances in preparation for war, became opportunity to gather intelligence on institutions, technology, and trade. Ordered officials to remain, and then return with trained people to spur on development in Russia. Bringing engineering skills to projects, the army was reorganized to European models, and they adopted the Julian calendar, and outlawed arranged marriages, and instituted a beard tax. His quest to westernize Russia was what made him enlightened. The rise of Russia. Launched a Dutch-influenced massive shipbuilding project. Went into war against Sweden in the Great Northern War, and won St. Petersburg. Cracked down on those he believed opposed him. Created first bureaucracy, uniformity, and inefficiency. Redefined the social hierarchy, table of rank. Massive building led to tax burden, and Peter led emergence from hibernation that led to future growth. Enlightened despotism. Attempts were proof that monarchs saw the need for reform, rise in education, and just legal system. Less arbitrary judgment, expansion of tolerance. Education, more people are literate. New ideas mean progress seemed limitless. Expansion of secularism. Radical movement reflected movement towards personal liberty. Each monarch pursued wars of aggression, which was a drain and distraction from reform. No monarch could lessen the tax burden. Many tried, but none succeeded, which resulted in revolution in France. Enlightened despotism is an experiment that presents a case of dialect, a revolutionary process in which progress comes as a result of the conflict between two opposing forces. For example, enlightened despotism. The ideas of the philosophes and absolutism clash to create enlightened despotism. Voltaire, the architect of the Enlightenment. Catholic dogma made him a formidable opponent. Imprisonment in Bastille shaped his criticism on social justice, religion, and fanaticism. Favored in monarchical rule. Little credit to wicked and stupid men who are easily swayed. He opposed democracy. Enlightened despotism, for Voltaire. Ruler informed by ideals of enlightenment would best protect the life, liberty, and prosperity of his people, avoid intolerance, wars, and promote pacifism and open trade. He was a deist, but rejected the restrictive beliefs of Christianity. Religion was superstition. People of the Enlightenment. Pierre Bailly. Great work, The Historical and Critical Dictionary. Introduced concept of skepticism. Denis Diderot, The Encyclopedia, which would encapsulate the human knowledge. Cesare Beccaria, on crimes and punishment. He wanted reforms of the criminal justice system. A.R.J. Turgot, reflections on the distribution of wealth, natural law, and the economic systems. Adam Smith, The Wealth of Nations. Capitalist economy, man was free to pursue his own personal wealth. Laissez-faire, let us do. Montesquieu, De l'Esprit de l'Os, the father of political science. The three branches of government, checks and balances. Rousseau, The Social Contract. Man, in his state of nature, was good. Changes happened in a social setting. The general will, the communal desire of what is in the heart of mankind. Government has a duty to protect it. Frederick the Great, create an enlightened kingship. Prussianism, application of militaristic values, of discipline to the civil government. Aggressive attitude. Maria Theresa, co-regent to Joseph II, delayed what he tried to do because she did not like reform. Joseph II, attuned to the hardships of peasantry, removed restrictions placed on education, tried to do too much in too little a period of time. Secret police to control the unenlightened. Catherine the Great, reign as enlightened monarch. Russia reached new heights of civilization. Reformed the bureaucracy, made educational reforms, and improved medical practices. Aggressive foreign policy, stop enlightenment to prevent a coup, and failed to lessen the tax burden. Thomas Hobbes, absolute monarchy. Man is ignoble beast, uncivilized, and always egocentric and in constant competition. Man won't survive when left to the will of the masses, so we should surrender to a higher authority. John Locke, limited monarchy or republic. Man aspires to greatness. Bilateral agreement between king and people, and they retain the right to rebellion. Francis Bacon, novum organum, new instrument. Inductive, only through scientific investigation could conclusions be drawn. Repeated instances of the same phenomenon, therefore, allows us to generalize and formulate laws. René Descartes, cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. Deduction, to formulate a general proof for a specific proof. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Trusting in man's ability to think.